All right, so this is Travis Brown, Horror Movies Uncut, Submissions and Slashers, with an exclusive interview before we line up some coverage for South by Southwest. I am speaking with the gentleman, also known as T3, and then the young lady, Penelope. They are the folks behind the scenes of the film Sound of Silence. And I am very, very excited to talk about this movie because, first and foremost, people, this is kind of a scary movie. I don't know if you know this or not when you made it, but it's going to actually scare some people. And that doesn't happen a lot in horror films. So, first and foremost, I always like to ask, how are you guys all doing? How are we feeling today? How's life? How excited are you guys to be out promoting this film right now? And let's go ahead and start with Stefano. You go ahead and take it and let us know how you're doing.
I'm good. I'm really happy about this good notices about the movie.
Yes.
This is our first feature English movie, and
yes,
I'm a little shy.
Yeah,
it's fine. No, you're totally fine. You're doing great.
You picked the most shy.
I know. We got to get the hard stuff out the way first.
Yeah,
I got the knack. I got it.
No, yeah, no, we're great. We're very, very excited about everything about the movie, and we love the idea that you think it's scary.
Yeah,
we really wanted to make it very scary, and so I'm very happy that it's scary to you. So yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Super
also,
happy. The radio is here, right behind us.
I see it in the back. I said,
yes.
Right.
Yes.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
She's great.
Okay.
She's great.
Okay. And then Penelope, I mean, I can't leave you out. Like, tell me, how are you today? How are you? How excited are you? Everyone, how are you?
Hi. I'm incredibly excited. It still feels like surreal. Like I'm still out of the blue with the entire situation. But yeah, it's been a great experience. These guys are amazing. They're the nicest people anyone can work with. And yeah, just
that's
excited to be here.
That's great. Okay, so Danielle, tell me,
yes,
how did this movie come to be? And then tell me a little bit about what you guys do to come together as a collective, because I feel like we got a lot of strong minds right there, right? Yes. So I feel like if there's something that we need to put together, there's a lot of back and forth. So how did this movie come together? And then how did the three of you guys put your own print into the movie?
Let me start from there. We met 9 years ago.
Okay.
Alessandro needed an actor. I am an actor, so we worked together. Then a couple months later, we met Stefano.
Yes.
And we find out really to have a high level of chemistry. So we decided to put all this together, and we started to shoot our first movie. It was in Italian, was an horror movie. And then we got the Screen Fest in 2018. Was our first big experience in LA. So it was really exciting. And then we came back in 2019 with our short, right?
With another short,
The Crime Boy.
Yes, again at Screenfest.
Yes, and then we decided to do our first features in English. Yes.
Okay.
So and after the pandemic situation, we wanted to do something together. Absolutely, we were stuck, freezed for months, and have been really tough.
Yeah.
So we decided to use it.
Yeah.
Okay, Alessandro, so where did the story come from? So for the people that are now starting to see the trailer and they see Penelope in this dark blue crystal fortress with this terrifying shadows and things coming after her, where did this story come from?
Before the feature, we made a short film for this in 2020.
Okay.
So we made the short in 2020, and it was just right after the quarantine. So it was a moment where like you said, where when we really wanted to produce things and
Okay.
new things. So we tested this material, and when we had the short in our hands, we realized that it was very effective. And then the short was selected at Screamfest
Okay, so the
2020.
short went
So
to Screamfest too?
yes,
That
so
short went to Screamfest? Okay.
yes. And that's when we decided to turn that into a feature. So
Okay.
we were aware that the concept was strong and commercial enough for it to be the first feature from us. And we knew that we were putting together a movie that can be described like as a ghost version of A Quiet Place, and a sound version of Lights Out. So once we established that the concept was strong enough, then we started writing the story, and that's when we came up with the backstory. We started with the backstory of the radio, behind the curse of the radio in the mythology, and there we were very happy that we were very glad that in a commercial movie like this we were going to deal with a very important theme like women abuse, women empowerment, and women violence. So the fact and the fact we were very glad with that, because it was never forced into the movie, but it was very natural when we were writing the story behind the radio. It felt very natural, and then other than because we wanted to, make a commercial and fun and scary movie, but also a more meaningful movie somehow. But then in terms of the horror sequences, that's what we love to do the most. So we very much focused on the scares, and we tested many things, and we really wanted to make the movie as a ride, a very fun ride of scares. That was,
and I think
the
you guys
main goal.
And honestly, Alessandro, people are you guys did that. Like, they're gonna see that right off the bat. Like, you're gonna be, from the minute the film starts, when you see the father, right? Like, it's a ride from that point on, right?
Yeah.
Penelope, the character Emma, was she in the short also, or was she written specifically for this film?
So I've seen the short. I wasn't in the short.
Okay, so there was no Emma in the short, right? Okay, so all right.
It was just it was a different actress. And what you see in the short is basically the concept of sound on, sound off, and this sound triggering a ghost perhaps, or like some kind of force in the room. And then they developed the entire story from just that simple concept of the sound, and then they went on and developed the sort of like this, it's not a family.
It's a plane. So when I'm talking to other people about the film, like, what I explain to them is it's really a playing of the senses, right? Because the fact that the film involves like sound so much, is so much of a focal point of the film, similar to what we're finding out when people go watch Skinamarink, right? They're noticing that their noises, and it's making them uneasy because of all the noises. And I think you guys do a great job of that as well in the movie. You create this spooky atmosphere with the noises and the shadows and stuff that you guys use. Do you guys have I'm curious, do you guys have a music background? Because even T3 sounds like you guys are like some EDM producers or something, right? Like, is this Alessandro? Did you got a music background? And we'll get Penelope. Hopefully we get Penelope back on here. But with you guys, like, so like I swear, the first time I ever heard of you guys, I remember hearing about your shorts. And I'm like, are they like an EDM group that's making movies now? So like, is there a music, like, where, like, it seems like you guys are very in tune, I guess, with sound and music, and it plays a big part in the film. Welcome back, Penelope. So I'm curious, like, is it, did you use, it's okay. So Alessandro, did you use your music background like as a heavy influence in this film?
No, I'm very much into music, and I ages ago. I made some music, but it was like another life. But yeah, so I'm very much into music. I love
Long
dancing.
time ago.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. I love dancing. I mean, it's very
Lots
much
of drugs ago. Lots
into
of
my
drugs ago.
vein. Yeah, it's very much in my vein. Like I love that. So, and you know, and I think that what helps is that like among the three of us, I'm the one doing the camera work and the editing, and so I am one person doing all of that.
Yeah.
So even in the editing, I mean, we had an amazing team helping us, and we had I mean, like an amazing guy doing the sound for us. But you know, having the director of the movie very on the job until the end, like even like sending notes, specific notes about sound to you know, to the sound department, and being there and doing yourself the work, like the edit work, and even like of course choosing
being
sound choices,
hands-on,
that
for sure.
that definitely keeps the vision that we have, you know, and that helps making sure that, you know, the final product is that's exactly what's in our minds.
Okay.
So I just wanted to say that also very much helped, I think, in keeping the vision very strong up to the end.
Makes sense. Makes total sense. Okay, so Penelope, we're back with you, and and like digging more into Emma's character. I mean, your man is like, I love what goes on with your man in the movie. I can't wait for people to see that. It's gonna be fantastic. It's so great. You guys are just wrong. Okay. But you're such a focal point in the movie, and that's why I'm so great that you're on here talking with us. How do you build Emma's character with what these three guys have set up for you on the set? Like, how are you able to really tie into what Emma is going through when this all of a sudden out of nowhere occurrences are starting to happen to her? Like, how do you create this character to really dig in so that the audiences can feel like what you experienced through it?
It was definitely the most challenging part of the process.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to give anything away, but Emma is sort of running around this big house.
Yeah.
And sometimes
I mean,
she's
you can see that.
through...
You can see that in the trailer, so you're not giving away anything.
Exactly.
On that trailer.
There's this chase going on around the house,
Right.
and sometimes she would find herself in the same room, but at a different point of the chase.
Right.
And so it was really important for me to figure out the different emotions. Maybe we would shoot the same two scenes at the beginning of the film and at the end of a film in the same day within that room. And, you know, sometimes you're caught up in the process, and it was my first time. I was really panicking, and maybe I wasn't there emotionally. And I have to say, the whole crew did not leave me figuring it out on my own. I had Daniel coming up to me like, okay, we have to, we're at a different point. We need to get to this level. We need to get to this emotion.
Right.
I'm here to get you with you on that. And then because all the special effects were basically made on set, there's not that much CGI or at all, actually.
It's great. People are going to love that. People are going to love hearing that. I mean, that alone is going to put asses in seats, because I mean, hey, we all grew up, right, fellas? We all grew up watching films with practical effects that made us fall in love with these movies today, right? So the fact that you guys are able to add this and allow this next generation to see this too, like, that's great. That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
And it's so modern. I feel like it does
for sure.
really feel
totally
old
so
at all.
I think so. Look, people are gonna think about movies like you know, Don't Breathe. They're gonna think about all these films that just cater to that stumbling in the dark. But I'm gonna dig a little deeper, and this is what I was talking about on my podcast the other day when I was talking about this film. I get a very Asian, almost, you know, dragging some young lady out of a water or something feel when I get to watching Sound of Silence. And I've watched it almost 3 times now. And every single time it doesn't change. Like I think about those classics like One Missed Call, the original Ju-on, Grudge, Ringu, all those films, right? And when I watch Sound of Silence, there's just so much like of that just dark mysticism that made those movies so great that I see in this film. And I'm wondering if you guys have any type of influence or inspiration from that, Pacific Asian culture. I mean, because you guys are some boys in Italia, right? And I'm here in USA, but we watch these films in Asia, right? And they're fantastic, and they've put a lasting imprint on people. So I'm wondering if maybe you guys even got some influences from the Far East region, because I can see them in this film. I can see them. So let me know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you got it very much right. Like I mean, like the first movie that made me personally fall in love with the genre when I was very young and not that young. It was The Ring, the American version of The Ring, the 2022. That movie made me fall in love with this supernatural genre. So that was when I that's why I'm trying to make these movies now, the supernatural horror movies. So I think I think it all comes from there. So then I fell in love with the like Asian genre. So I started watching all those movies, the original ones, and the original ones, and then The Grudge, all of them. So there's definitely some of that. And then of course, then we ended up falling in love with the Conjuring movies, the James Wan type of horror movies. We love how James Wan and the scares that he makes, like he makes them he makes such a creative and inventive, but also beautiful looking scares. That's why I love his scares.
And Daniel, Stefano, I'm gonna ask you guys this. Don't you feel like also when you come from old country, or you're attracted to old lands and old foreign lands, and Penelope, you can answer this as well. Doesn't it make wanting to do a supernatural ghost film that much more important to you? Because if you are a fan of history, if you come from a land of history, if you're attracted to history, one of the best ways to tell history is through supernatural films, right? Because you're telling a tale. And even in Sound of Silence, we find out that there's a story going on in here, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't just some spooky, scary stuff going on. There's a story.
It's true. It's true.
Right? So,
like,
there will be many others.
He's such a fan of history, and
he writes really well. So
he's like a writer among us. Like
So Stefan, so when you're writing, what are you pulling from when you're writing a story like this? Where are you pulling from?
Your studies.
What
my
books?
studies.
What authors? What subjects? Like who do you love?
I have a passion for history. So I have a degree in fine arts.
Okay.
But when you study fine arts, you need to know the historic period. So
the history.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
So you got passionate.
Yeah, I'm passionate with history.
That's great.
And I'm passionate with reading. Tu traduci, se facciamo per...
We can translate.
Sì,
I will translate. That's fine.
Mi piace ovviamente la letteratura.
Yes, he loves literature.
Tutto quella relativa, diciamo, a personaggi femminili molto forti.
Female characters, female writers, mostly.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Penelope, I'm sure that makes you feel fantastic knowing you're working for these guys that are like attracted to these female writers and these beautiful works of art and literature out there, right?
Absolutely. First of all, the script, the way it was presented to me, it was really, because we're constantly talking about putting women at the center and, putting the focus on stories that we may have never heard before. And I mean, literally in this case, because you can never hear the voices of two female characters in the movie without giving anything away. And then there's a beautiful metaphor throughout the movie that Emma is trying to find her own voice in her own life, but throughout the radio and anything connected to the radio, she's able to give voice to other women as well, which was really beautiful. Also, they're weirdly obsessed by me, these three guys. I never understand why, but they're like, "We love you, Penny. You're so cool," and they bring so much. Like the crew, that was something I was worried about going into the set for the first time. It was beautifully balanced between female and male representatives. So
the cast was very balanced. It was a very balanced cast throughout the whole film. So
it's a great
we were
team.
just talking about our focus puller yesterday. She's a phenomenal professional.
Yes.
And it was so great.
And I don't even want to say anything about it because it's going to give away too much for the film that I don't want. I want people to experience like every single part of it. So look, I'm going to shut up because I think if we keep talking, we're going to say something we don't want to say, and we need these people to see this film. All right. So before I let you guys go, and you guys have been fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. Penelope, we'll start with you. Danielle, go to you. Alessandro, Stefano, you finish it up. Tell me one thing you would like people to take away from Sound of Silence after they see the film, especially down here at South by Southwest when it comes.
The love. It's something you don't see every day, like this unfiltered love between characters in a horror movie. So not gonna go any further, but you guys will see.
Yeah, for sure. They'll see it. Okay, Danielle, what about you?
I can say enjoy the ride because it's really like to be in Luna Park, right? So enjoy. You will be safe and you will be, I hope, satisfied.
Alessandro, in one paragraph book. What do you got?
I would say just a lot of goosebumps, like a lot of fear. That was my main goal, getting audience to be afraid and scared.
Got you.
I would say the mystery,
right?
Yeah, the
mystery.
The mystery.
All right.
The investigation.
The investigation on
yes, we really love
what happened.
Yeah.
The story.
On the story.
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you guys being on here, and I totally I misspoke. It's actually XYZ's putting the film out, and it's going to be on digital VOD March 9th. Make sure to check it out, everybody. Hey, T3, Penelope, thank you all so much. I really, really appreciate it. Sound of Silence was great. We gave it. We're gonna give our review score before we put the review out, but our review will be out. But we gave it a 3.5 out of 5 at Horror Movies Uncut. So that means we definitely want people to go check that out and give us some thoughts on it when they get a chance to see it. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You guys have a great time.
Really
enjoy the release of the film. Hopefully everyone is enjoying every single portion of it. Looking forward to the next project for everyone. So we'll be looking out. Okay.
Yeah,
it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming.
All right. Have a great day, you guys. Appreciate it.
You too.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye. Thanks.